good morning, good morning, virtual learners. It feels good to be with you again as your live streaming teacher. Welcome to another fun-filled virtual learning experience that I am going to bring you today. I hope that you will lend me your ears and stay with me until the end of our lesson. Give me an assurance by typing in the comment box hashtag I will surely stay, and underneath that, please type or key in hashtag the acronym of your school. That's your section, just like what you see on the screen. Be ready with your pen and notebook because you need to take down important notes as you watch our lesson. Write your queries that are relevant to our discussion as well, so you can type or key in them in the Q&A part of this lesson. Likewise, don't forget about our online netiquette. Be respectful and polite always. Comment on what is necessary and relevant. I can feel your readiness and excitement for this lesson. Are you ready? Please type I am ready in the comment box. To begin with, let me give you first the learning targets of today's lesson. For today's session, we will be focusing on this most essential learning competency: use modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs appropriately. While these are our specific objectives, use appropriate modifiers and use modals appropriately. We will use the alternative delivery mode module about the use of modal adverbs prepared by Ma'am Amirut P. Bernardo, Master Teacher from Malinta National High School. We will be dealing with auxiliary verbs that provide additional and specific meanings to the main verb and words that are used to modify specific verbs. But before we go on, let us first answer these 5 questions. This is to check your prior knowledge for this lesson. Read with me and choose the letter of the best answer. Type or key in your answer in the comment box. I will be giving you 5 seconds to answer each question. Number 1. Which of the following words is a modal adverb? A. Can. B. Possibly. C. Possible. D. Tidy. And the answer is letter B, possibly. Number 2. What is the modal adverb used in this statement? I am uncertainly feeling unwell today. A. Uncertainly. B. Feeling. C. Unwell. D. Today. And the correct answer is letter A. Number 3. What is the modal adverb used in this statement? Ma'am Enriquez requisitely answers my questions about live streaming lesson. A. Requisitely. B. Answers. C. Questions. D. Streaming. The answer is letter A. Number 4. Which among these modal adverbs is used to state something that is granted or given permission? A. Probably. B. Promisingly. C. Permissibly. D. Merrily. If your answer is letter C, then you are correct. Number 5. I love you without a doubt. What modal can replace the underlined phrase without a doubt? A. Probably. B. Promisingly. C. Surely. D. Merrily. And the answer is letter C. Did you get them all correct? Great job. If not, together, let us sail with our topic for today. Let us first read the conversation on the screen. Please read with me. B. What are we going to do to get in touch with our fans without going out? We can possibly hold a live virtual concert for free. What can you say about this, Jimin? Our fans will certainly love your idea, B. Indeed, probably we could ask our sponsors to help our fans who are victims of the recent typhoon. They will surely agree with your idea, Jungkook. This will be very exciting virtual concert. Let us just inform RM, Suga, and J-Hope about our plan. Do you know the people conversing? Yes, they are the BTS members. Are you a fan of them? What do you think are the highlighted words? Great, those are modal adverbs. Before we discuss what modal adverbs are, let us first recall what these two words are. We have modal and adverbs here. So what is a modal? Modal is an auxiliary verb that provides additional and specific meaning to the main verb of the sentence. Look at this sentence. We should take care of our eyes now that we are always online. In this sentence, should is the auxiliary verb that gives additional meaning to the sentence. Specifically, it gives advice to somebody to take care of himself. Are you following? Now, let us have adverb. What is an adverb? If your answer is that adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or even an entire sentence, then you are correct. Let us look at this example. Jade sings loudly in the shower. The adverb in this sentence answers the question how Jade sings. It describes how the action is being done. In this case, an adverb loudly modifies the verb sings. Let us have this sentence. He is unusually quiet today. Here, the adverb unusually modifies an adjective, which is quiet. Unusually adds degree or intensity to the adjective. Dana answered the test quite easily. To what extent did Dana answer the test? You are right. Easily here modifies another adverb, which is quite. You might be wondering about these words quiet and quiet. What's the difference? When we say quiet, it means free from noise, which is an adjective. It can also be a noun, an adverb, or a verb, depending on it will be used in a sentence. Quiet means completely, which is an adverb. Now, let us row our boat to the world of modal adverbs. What are modal adverbs? Modal adverbs are used to modify specific verbs, consist of a linking verb or verb of being, and sometimes another verb. Examples of modal verbs include can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, and would. Adverbs that modify these verbs say something about possibility, obligation, and emphasis. Thus, modal adverbs describe or add meaning to modal verbs and adjectives. Let us go back to the sentences used in this conversation and pay attention to the highlighted words. We can possibly hold a live virtual concert for free. Our fans will certainly love your idea, B. They will surely agree with your idea, Jungkook. In these sentences, the highlighted words are the modal adverbs, and the underlined words are the words they describe or modify. These modal adverbs describe how something is done and how someone feels about something. They also express modality. When we say modality, it is about showing how certain we are about something. These modal adverbs help us from being uncertain to being certain. Now, we have high and low modality. High modality is used to express certainty, while low modality is used to express uncertainty. Look at these examples. The visitors will probably come tomorrow. In this sentence, the modal adverb probably shows high modality. Jen sometimes attends her online classes. In this sentence, the modal adverb sometimes shows low modality. Now, let me give you examples of modal adverbs, their meaning and their usage in a sentence. Let us analyze the sentence. His mother will surely find a solution for his online learning concerns. In here, what word is being described by the word surely? Yes, it is the word find, which is a verb. The speaker here is sure that the mother will find a solution. Now, let's have this sentence that uses necessarily as the modal adverb, which means something is necessary or needed. His nature of work necessarily involves some risk. This sentence shows that his work is risky. The modal adverb necessarily describes the verb involves. Let us take a look at this sentence. She could possibly win the competition because of their talents and skills. The modal possibly is used to show that winning is possible because of the person's talents and skills. So, possibly is used to state that something is possible to happen, and it modifies the verb win. Now, let us proceed to this sentence. Sir Dale willingly shared his expertise to the faculty. This sentence uses the modal adverb willingly, which modifies or describes the verb shared. It means that Sir Dale expressed his free will or willingness to share his expertise to the faculty. Moving on to these sentences. The principal calls for an urgent meeting. We will probably have very important matters to discuss. The modal probably shows that it is reasonably true for the principal to discuss important matters. That's why she calls for an urgent meeting. Now, let us look at the modal certainly. This modal is used if one is sure or no doubt at all, just like this example. They will certainly finish the project on time. The speaker here is sure that they will finish the project on time. The adverb certainly describes the verb finish. Did you get it? Good. Let us analyze the other sentences. Let us see how the modal ably is used in a sentence. We use ably to state that someone is skillful of something, just like this example. Nadine is driving ably in the racing track. Here, the subject Nadine is skillful in driving. What about the modal permissively? Permissively is used to state something that is granted or given permission. Look closely at this example. She watched online movies permissively after she finished her assignments. It means that the subject was given permission to watch online movies after she finished her assignments. Let us have the modal responsibly. This modal is used to state something in a responsible manner. Look at this one. We are expected to behave responsibly as citizens of this country. This sentence calls for us to be responsible as citizens of this country. What about the modal promisingly? This modal shows that something is going to be successful or enjoyable in a promising manner. Look at this sentence. Her plants are budding promisingly. This sentence shows that her plants will soon bud, which will continually develop into flowers. All right, let me give you the last modal in our list, which is used to state something that is essential or important for a particular purpose. This modal is requisitely. Look at this example. Mayor Rex Gatchalian requisitely encourages us to wear protective masks and face shield when going out. This means that it is essential for us to wear masks and face shields when going out. Looking back at these examples of sentences, his mother will surely find a solution for his online learning concerns. His nature of work necessarily involves some risk. Sir Dell willingly shared his expertise to the faculty. They will certainly finish the project on time. What have you observed with the highlighted words and the underlined words? If your answer is the highlighted words are the modals that describe verbs, adjectives, or other expressions, you are certainly correct. These modal adverbs modify or describe verbs and adjectives. Most modal adverbs have equivalent modal noun forms like the following: certainly, certainty, possibly, to possibility. Modal adverbs also suggest a range of strong to weak modality. Look at this chart on our screen. The choice and use of modal adverbs depend on the modality that you want to suggest in the statement. To modify the certainty, certain or uncertain, and to describe how something is done. Modal adverbs describe or give more meaning or information to verbs and adjectives. They are like modal verbs and nouns because they all express modality. They only differ in form and the way they are used in sentences. Let me see if you learned something from our lesson today. Please get your handy-dandy notebook, then read and choose the most appropriate modal adverb for each sentence shown on the screen. You have 5 seconds to think and key in your answer in the comment box. Are you ready? If yes, give me a thumbs up react. Okay, number 1. The rescuers blank volunteered themselves to save the lives of the typhoon victims. The choices are promisingly, ably, willingly. Check your answer now. If your answer is willingly, then you are correct. The fact that the rescuers volunteered themselves to save the lives of the typhoon victims means they are ready to do the task willingly. Number 2. They know blank that their lives will be at risk while saving other people. The choices are permissibly, willingly, possibly. Here, if your answer is possibly, you got it right. The subject here know the possible risk in their lives in saving other people. Still, they carry on with their task. Number 3. They are swimming blank to reach the people stranded on their rooftops. The choices are certainly, ably, requisitely. In this sentence, the subject is a skillful swimmer. That is why ably is the correct answer. So if your answer is ably, then you are amazing. Number 4. We all know that they blank save more lives. The choices are certainly, requisitely, and promisingly. The correct answer here is certainly. This means that the subject here is definite in saving more lives. Number 5. We must blank recognize their selfless effort to save lives. The choices are promisingly, requisitely, and permissively. The correct answer is requisitely. This means that there is a need to recognize the selfless effort to save lives. To sum up your answers, number 1, we have willingly. Number 2, possibly, number 3, ably, number 4, certainly, and number 5, requisitely. Did you get them all correct? If you get 5, very good. If not, it is all right. Always remember, there is always a room for improvement. Now is the time for you to type or key in your questions in the comment box. But let me remind you to only ask relevant questions for today's lesson. Okay? I'll be giving you a minute to type or key in your questions, and your time starts now. Your time is up. Let me read the first question handed to me by our moderator. Thank you, ma'am, for gathering our questions. The first question is from Kanumay West National High School. How can we identify modal adverbs in a sentence or text? This is a very good question. When you see adverbs consist of a linking verb and sometimes another verb that modify verbs, and say something about possibility, obligation, and emphasis, then those are modal adverbs. Remember that most of them end in ly. The second question is from Parada National High School. Can we use all adverbs as modal adverbs? Thank you for this very interesting question. The answer is no. Though modal adverbs also describe or add meaning to modal verbs and adjectives, they are adverbs that help us from being certain to uncertain. That is why we talk about modality. High and low modality. So only adverbs that show modality are the ones that we can use for modal adverbs. Now, we're down to the last question, and it comes from Carlos Miguel Calixterio, 8 Peridot. Oh, he's under Ma'am Jonna Junio from Bignay National High School. The question is, why do we need to learn about modal adverbs? Very good question. We need to learn modal adverbs because they show how certain or uncertain we are about something to be done. They help us express something with firm conviction. Do you get it? I hope that I answered your queries clearly. I know that you still have a lot of questions in mind, but don't you worry, because your subject teacher will answer those questions during your follow-up discussion tomorrow. So please be present in your follow-up discussion. This time, let me explain to you the directions for your activities in your module. For this activity, find me a modal adverb match. You are going to pick the appropriate modal adverb described in the underlined phrase in each sentence. Then, choose the letter of the correct answer and write it in a separate answer sheet. Always remember to write your answer in a separate paper, a yellow pad or any pad paper. For the assessment, you are going to choose the letter of the correct answer to complete the sentences about modal adverbs. There you go. I hope that everything is clear. Apparently, no one knows when this pandemic will end, but I am sure it's getting near. So while we are waiting for its end, education must not freeze. With this, We need to support the joint effort of the city government of Valenzuela and DepEd Valenzuela's battle cry, in any situation, education must continue. This has been your live streaming teacher, Ma'am Sandra Leona Pasha, saying, you are blessed. You are favored. Be grateful and be productive. Tune in again in our next Valenzuela Live. Goodbye!